Yes, 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 yes. In the building, live, absolutely live. Okay, for sure. Let me let the sister in now. And there she goes. There she goes. All right. Let me check it out. Oh my God, you all look so beautiful. Look so beautiful on camera.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Oh, yes. So there she goes. 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 Hey, hey, wonderful people. Here we are talking about Insecure, another episode in Insecure Chat, where we take a few days, watch the episode a few times, read articles on it and all that, and get our thoughts and everything in proper perspective before we say what we need to say. For all my people in the chat, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Don't forget to like this. Go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know that you are here. Tell your aunties and cousins and nieces and pop that we're live. So my goodness, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. We see the lovely faces of Emily in DC. Nyandi is in Oakland, and we see Trisha somewhere in the Bay Area, right? Trisha, somewhere, right?
Oakland.
Okay, the town and the building. Okay, we might hear a voice coming from off camera. So just rock with us. I'll try to name those callers if they should have anything to say. Meanwhile, anyone can say anything in the chat right now. All right, here we go. Opening this thing up, just a general question, and that is, what did people think about this episode? What did people think about this episode?
I liked it. I was a little surprised that we had a Nathan episode, so that did surprise me. But I overall liked it, and also I love the jabs at Jason Derulo. But
Why did you like the Jason Derulo? Is that your guy? You like Jason?
oh no, I didn't dislike. I liked it. It was just funny the way
Okay,
he was
okay,
going on.
okay, for sure. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, A? What did you think about it?
So I liked it. I thought it was a little bit of a drag, but
Mm,
I a little bit. But I think what I'm realizing is that every episode is focusing on one character
mm.
and how they are developing through that year and what's like because it's the last season. So I think that's just what they're doing. They're just devoting one episode to one character and how they probably got to the point where however they want to tell the rest of the story, they want to get them to a certain point and then merge it all together is kind of what I'm seeing.
Mm.
Uh, so yeah,
Okay.
yes, I liked it.
Okay.
I like it. Cool. And
All,
the mental health aspect, loved because hey, all day that's me.
all day, that's you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Cool. 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 Nayandi, what's up? What do you think about the episode?
I enjoyed it as well. Yeah, I do appreciate the character development, and them being able to focus on a character, even especially when you might have your feelings towards a certain character, especially if you've been an OG insecure watcher from the beginning. So to be able to see as characters evolve and to be able to gain another perspective of that character, I think is very interesting. So
Okay.
I
All right.
appreciated it as well.
Okay, for sure. Now, Trisha, you had said before that you didn't see, like, you thought it was shock. You were shocked that they had a Nathan episode, and what was shocking about that for you?
I don't know. I mean, I think I really wasn't expecting her to want to take it that direction with him. I thought like my take when they were interacting beforehand and saying how they had been friends for the year beforehand, I thought like she really meant it. Like I didn't really see it as like she was just trying to like build up to that. I thought she really kind of kept him in the, I'm going to see you as a friend and I'm going to build this friendship with you. So when it kind of all of a sudden they're both on the same page about not wanting to be friends, I didn't think they would go there. I thought maybe they'd just address more so his development as far as his him being diagnosed as bipolar and kind of like talk a little more about that. But I did not think that ending was going to end the way it did.
And just, are they a couple now? Okay, he said, I don't just want to be she said, I don't just want to be your friend. He's like, I don't just want to be your friend either. And so I'm wondering like, that's a lot of space. So I'm like, are they going to do, I'm sure they're going to, physically hook up, right? But I'm sure that's going to happen. Yeah. But I'm like, but what does that mean? Like, are they officially a couple? What does that mean? I don't know. What do people...
I think they're moving in that direction.
That's Jessica Cooper, ladies and gentlemen. That's Jessica Cooper.
My government? You got to say both of my names?
Oh, that's Jessica Doe. Jessica Doe.
Oh, dang. It's still on here myself. I forgot to change my name myself, so that's my bad.
Like, why use my government name?
My name is really Roger Porter. I mean, it's okay. Like, you don't need an alias. Like, the tribe is safe. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but I one thing from the first question, I really enjoyed the episode, like start to finish. But I think they're going in that direction. I appreciated that they actually had they start to have like an actual conversation. When Issa was like, "Yo, where'd you go?" And he was like, "I expected you to be here." And when Nathan was like, "I didn't know we had expectations," I was like, "Good job. Let's talk it out. Let's all get on the same page here." So I appreciate that. So we're gonna see.
Did you Jessica, by the end of it, did you think are they together or not? Because you said they're talk it out, let's get on the same page.
I think they're gonna get there. I don't know that they have labels. I feel like they're like in situationship territory. You know what I mean? I didn't hear an official like it's us exclusively, but I heard a like we don't want to just be friends. And did y'all watch the clip for the next episode, the sneak peek?
I did. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
But were you referencing the part where they were in bed?
Yeah, so we know something's gonna happen. Like we know they're gonna like do that. But I'm wondering if it's gonna be more like, I hope they keep talking, having explicit conversation. That is my hope and prayer for them to keep like the lines of communication open with each other.
Okay. They are absolutely going to have to, because things could, in any relationship, things will go awry. I want to really unpack. Let's just dive into this Nathan situation because it was his episode. I saw before that Adjoa, you were making a face. You were making a face before, as if you had something to say. Don't hold back. What's going on?
I mean, in my opinion, they go together. Like they just they do. Okay. They go together. She said, "I don't want to be your friend," and he says, "I don't want to be your friend." I do understand the fact that there isn't like a specific label that they put on whatever it is that's happening, but because they've been here before, there's a certain level of maturity that's just like, we're not trying to get to really know each other. I know you. I know who you are. I know your quirks. I know your likes. I know the things that make you laugh. Like, I know you. So when I make a choice that you're not going to be my friend and we're on that same page, there is no middle ground to try to get to know you. I think what's going to happen. No, I'm done.
Yeah, why are you biting your tongue? Hold on. I love predictions. You think what's going to happen is what?
I think what's going to happen is that they may not truly be on the same page. It may seemingly seem so, because I'm with Trisha, right? I didn't see this coming. I didn't see it coming, and to be honest, I don't really buy it.
Ooh.
I feel like
Same.
it's just because you're here. You're here right now.
Mhm.
And this awkward situation happened. And I have to try to find a way to talk it out. And we're kind of stuck with each other. So let's see what's gonna happen. I don't really buy it.
Oh, you don't buy it, meaning you don't think it's real, or you don't think it's the smartest thing to do? What does not buying it mean?
I don't think it's as strong as they feel it is.
Aha.
I don't think that the wants for each other is as okay. So they're grown, right? So if they're in a relationship, then it's more so a relationship leading towards marriage. I feel that the level of commitment that would be needed, and the level of intimacy that would be needed for them to build a solid relationship that would be a lifelong relationship, I don't buy that they have those ingredients to create that as much as they feel they do.
Oh. Okay, they are not. Okay, what else? That's a great place to start. What do people think about this situationship union? As we'll put out there, maybe a courtship to marriage because they're grown. What do people think about Nathan and Issa together in a real way? How does that move people?
If they can talk, I think it's fine.
What do you mean?
Like, communicate, be honest. I think like both of them. Yes, what I mean. Like, if they can be, I really appreciated I didn't know we had expectations, like that line. And so now the reason why I said I think it's more situationship, I do think it's important for, even if you do know somebody, you've already hooked up with them, to still, because that's how people's feelings get hurt, right? Like when one of us thinks one thing and the other person is like, well, I didn't know. And so I'm hoping that they continue to communicate, especially considering Nathan's mental health issues. Not that just because he has a mental health diagnosis, he's the only one who needs to communicate. But, when you look back, Issa got communication problems too. Throughout, Issa do not, she got them. So it could work if they're honest, right? They are forthright, I would say, and take their time. I do hope that it's not a rebound situation, because then that's a mess in and of itself. If that's the only reason you're doing is to try to get over Lawrence, but you're not actually over Lawrence, that's a mess. So we'll see.
Whew. Yeah. Anyone else on them as a whatever it is they're doing, something serious, I guess. More than friends. Is there more than friends a potential relationship? If they're not in a relationship, I think we can all at least agree that they are headed on that path. And I didn't see the episode going in that particular direction either at all. Didn't see any of it coming. By the end, I said, oh, okay. I tell you what, me being an optimist, one thing that I really liked, not just them trying to communicate and him expressing to her that I was manic. That had to be a difficult conversation for him to have. I don't know if he said that out loud to anyone. We don't know, but he confided in her in that moment. I thought that was moving to me. But there was that scene at the table where they were kind of dissing him. They were just like, he's just like a little light-skinned leaf. He just blow away, right? And they were saying all this stuff. And I was just like, okay, wow, this puts the viewer in an interesting situation, because we know the backstory, and we know Nathan, we know he has a good heart, right? And we know his heart, as the church folks say. And anyway, and so it just really felt like they were being super insensitive, but they don't know about the diagnosis or anything like that. They just know homeboy was tripping. We had kids in the house, whatever, right? So they're getting on him. But then Issa said to him, well, I'm glad he blew in my direction. The way that she had his back, I was like, yeah, I like that, because he didn't know how to play it he was trying to, not put on airs to them, but like show them that he had his life together. That's a Nathan quote. And so, and so everybody at the table's kind of ganging up on him, and she instinctively just like, well, listen, he was there for me. And that was really touching for me. So when I see something like that, I'm like, hey, I don't know. They might be able to figure the thing out, but it's going to be a lot. Like, it's going to be a lot. So,
isn't it always a lot, no matter what?
That's right.
But I wanted to piggyback off of Issa having his back when his cousin at the party, when they couldn't get in, his cousin left. And she like went to say, yo, what's up? Was it Thomas, Tony, whatever his name was? Like, where'd he go? He's like, oh, they left. And she could tell that he was like upset. I was literally like, Issa, do what you wanted him to do for you. You guys talked about this. Like, come on, like, be there for him. And she did it. I was so happy. I was like, yes, like, you have this opportunity, like, to show up with what you needed at that time and, like, show that to that person. So I was very happy. That's why I'm like, we could see. It might.
I'm trying to read faces here. I'm thinking that maybe, hey, Jessica, maybe me and you are the only people optimistic. I don't know.
I'm not saying they're gonna get married. Like, we're assuming Nathan wants to be married. We don't know those things, right? I'm not saying that, but I think they might be good for each other in this space. I don't think that every relationship, in order to be successful, has to end in marriage, right? Like, some relationships are for like periods to teach you something, for you to experience things you wouldn't experience otherwise. Mm-hmm. And this might be both of their turns to learn how to talk. I think that's my biggest thing. Like, you have got to learn how to be clear and work through things.
They could teach one another. Absolutely.
I was gonna say, I'll jump on like where the way that they started talking to each other. I really liked to see the growth with both of them. So I guess to the point of like being optimistic about him, I think they are both kind of in a similar place right now, kind of meeting each other where he's okay and getting comfortable and better with vocalizing and putting into words the things he's feeling. And she's making it a point to ask what the things that she wants. But I mean, I don't know about marriage. I don't know about long term, but I think where they're at right now, it's kind of nice to see them both together take those next steps and start the conversation. So I will say I'm optimistic about where that is. I'll put it there.
Okay. Anyone else on that? What do people? I don't know. Maybe not marriage, maybe not long term. I'm like, why would you?
Exactly. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, it's the last season, y'all. It's the last season. And the wrap up of all of this, as Issa and homegirl, I can't remember her name right now, Molly. Issa and Molly talking about, like, what is happening is they want longevity. They want long term. They want marriage. They want a baby. That's the ideal. I wouldn't even say goal, because it's not like you get there and you reach the top, but that's what they're looking for. And anything else we don't talk about would really be it would be an injustice of what the series is trying to push. What the series is trying to push is that these women, although they have careers and they're doing all these things, also want relationships that are long-term and not fickle. So to think that this is not necessarily going to lead to a long-term thing and it's just going to be anything within the next, how many episodes they have, I think they're trying to paint a picture of who is Issa ending up with and what is Molly's path going to look like for a long-term relationship.
I would hope so, but we're going to get to Molly. I love that setup. We're going to get to Molly in a second. But yeah, I guess the discussion on the table right now is, like, what is she in it for? I mean, is Issa, like, I don't know. It seems like at this point, I feel like she would want something really serious, right? I mean, am I off on that or what?
I hope so prediction or hope. I actually don't want either of them to end up in a long-term relationship.
You don't want Issa or Molly to end up in a long-term relationship?
No, not because I don't want them to be happy in life, but but because one of the things I like about Insecure is that it shows that life does not get tied up in a bow, but you still can be happy, right? And so what I would love to see, to be honest, is a situation where you grow, you have experiences, and you're still figuring it out. And it's okay if it's not all tied up super nicely at the end, right? We don't have a lot of examples of that. Most movies, you end like, oh, with this. And for the happy ending to have to be a relationship, I kind of hope they don't go that route. Like, I kind of do, like, hope, because I think Insecure in a lot of ways has done a really good job of showing us like, no, it's like kind of fuck shit when you're in your 30s. Like, it just really is. Like, and some people do get the nice, like some people get the nice bow, and we don't even know if that's really that nice, right? Like, because I don't know about y'all, but I know people who get married, college sweethearts right out of college, and they're divorced by the time we're 30, right? Like, and so I don't know. I actually would love to see just them growing, learning, and being so comfortable and like in themselves and trusting that whatever life is going to bring to them will, and it not having to be again a relationship being what is the bow, right? Like I would love to not see that, to give us like that storyline and example. Again, not because I don't want that, not because I don't believe in love and I don't want people to have it. That's not what I'm saying, like at all.
Okay.
I'm okay with it, honestly, going either way. But to Jessica's point that she made earlier, I do agree. Like, Insecure has done a really good job about developing the characters and just showing all of their struggles and all of the things that they've kind of gone through along the way. And to be able to reach a point in the season to just show like independent of a relationship or independent of a career, independent of all of that, I'm okay with me and I'm okay with where I'm at with me. And I don't recall who mentioned it, but I remember like a creator of like a show was saying that even though seasons end, these characters live on. It's just the way that we see them as viewers, we no longer get to see them, but it's our interpretation as to wherever they left off at the end of the season. We kind of make our own predictions as to where we see them going on. But ideally, I think we want a conclusion. We want to know, okay, this is how it ends, and okay, this is how it goes. But that's not really like how life works. So it's just nice to kind of know, if we get that, it would be nice to know that each character, for the most part, is at a place in their life that they're at least comfortable with self, independent of whatever else is going on around them.
I absolutely hear that. I hear that from you, Nayanda. I hear that from you, Jessica, as well. And I'm going to very respectfully disagree. I want to see, okay, let's pivot into Molly, right? Let's pivot into Molly as she's been portrayed in this latest episode 4. So Molly she's getting back to herself. She's she linked up with a guy before off camera, and she says that she F's weird now. And so now she's in this space at the beach party, and these guys are competing for her affection, to use a euphemism. There's a lot of kitty references. There's a lot of like references to like, there was a lot of references to a woman's body part in that episode. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but anyway, a woman's sexual organs. All right, but at any rate, going back to that, right? So she's doing her thing, and I'm like, this is me, right? Let me know. Maybe I'm watching it wrong. Maybe my interpretation is off or base or something like that. But I'm looking at Molly and some of the things that she wanted to change about herself, and she got therapy, And she was mentioning the therapist earlier in this season, Dr. Rhonda, whatever her name is. She was like mentioning her, and she was trying to heal, and she entered this relationship with the guy, and that didn't work out, whatever. And so I get a sense of like she's really working on herself. And so now she's getting back to herself, but I don't want to see her get back to that self. I want to see her grow. I'm like, what? It just seems like she's hustling backwards. And I don't know, does seeing Molly get back into this, like being super like sexual and all that, even though that may be who she is, I'm definitely open to being wrong on this, but does that make people feel like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like she's restoring herself, or do people feel like maybe she should like transition into being a different person? And I just want to put that out there. What say you? What's up?
Well,
no, go ahead, Mama.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, to your point about growth, right? Like, she's going to therapy, she's doing all these things, and she's realizing all of the things that she doesn't even that no longer fit with her spirit anymore. Like, I think there was even like a scene in another episode when she was just looking at the dating app, and even the way that she wanted to mentally approach the question, they were able to kind of juxtapose the way that she would approach things in the past, and the way that the questions are actually asking of like the new Molly now. And so I think that was like a powerful moment to be able to see how Molly is growing. But I think sometimes when we think of growth, we think that, you know, now that she's doing all these things, that means that she's supposed to change all of these actions, and then things are just going to go into a different direction. But I think that sometimes growth looks like maybe going back into old patterns, and maybe seeing how those patterns may not necessarily fit with your spirit anymore, or the person that you're evolved to be. But it just takes for us as viewers to just kind of see how Molly goes down this road and just sees what fits for her and what doesn't. But what I like is that there's not one road to the growth, or there's not one road to what that looks like, what looks like Molly's best, or what looks like her ideal love life, right? But it can be frustrating because we're like, you're doing so good, you're doing this, you're doing that, why are you doing this? But that could all be a part of the growth in and of itself. Maybe it takes for her to go down that road to realize, like, maybe this works, or maybe this doesn't work, or maybe I should scale back, or maybe I should increase, or maybe this is a part of me, or maybe this is not a part of me. So I think I think she's still growing, in my opinion.
Okay, respect.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that, you know, growth is messy and it's not a straight line, like up. It's frustrating as it is, right? For all of us probably. And I think, honestly, I kind of like just Molly having a little bit of fun about the pressure of looking for something long term, because it's different. That actually is a different version of Molly. Before, she was kind of twisting herself into a pretzel, trying to like force a relationship, right? Now she's like, I'm trying to kick it. Like, as myself, I'm trying to kick it. I ain't really mad at her for that. That's what she wants to do right now.
Okay.
You know, without expectations and really not having them. Because the old Molly used to pretend like things was chill, but they wasn't really chill, you see? But now things might be chill and they might really be chill at the same time. And if that's the case, that actually is growth when you think about it. That actually is different from the way she used to operate in those situations.
Hold on, slow it down for me. Slow it down for me like I'm a freaking 4-year-old. You said it's different because she's
what? Approaching it different. So Molly used to act like she didn't care. She used to act like things were casual when actually all she really wanted was a super serious relationship, right? So she was trying to force things into them, right?
Right.
Whereas now, Molly just trying to like get hers.
Okay.
And if that is her end goal, she's like, no, I'm just trying to have fun and see where things go. That actually is growth, because she's not pretending like she don't want something, she really does.
Okay. I respect that. That's very clear. I see Trisha nodding her head. Before I get any other takes on this, I want to go to the chat. And Niger Girl 9 says Molly was backsliding this episode. So there's that. Shout out to the people in the chat. And then Charlene Blade says, I also think it could work out for each other. Nathan brings a vulnerability and softness no other bae has brought her. Okay, so shout out to the people in the chat. Go ahead and like this if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the tribe and send a mass text message to everybody and tell them that we're going live and that their opinion matters. Okay, back here. Hey, Trisha, what's good? I see you nodding. What's going on?
I agree with Jessica. I didn't see it as like her going back to her old ways. I think she was very intentional with the fact that she was like, you know what? I'm going to let them come to me. The energy wasn't, she's so pressed over the next relationship and the next perfect guy, and he has to have XYZ qualifications. She was more like, you know what? I'm going to let them not disqualify themselves. Let's see what happens. Anybody can get it. Like, she is she's having fun, but she's intentional in like her whole, yes, I am here. I am not pressed, but we're going to enjoy this from this side of things. It wasn't this, I'm looking for the next perfect man, checking all the boxes. So I enjoyed seeing that part. She had the growth, she had the understanding, but also she was like, he's talking about the wrong cat. I'm getting up. He's disqualified. Done. Like, I liked it. I'm not mad at it.
What homeboy say his tattoo man. The Chinese symbol for good dick. Molly, Molly liked that, huh? No, she's definitely having fun, no doubt. Anybody else on Molly, man, on Molly?
How did that get past me? The tattoo. How did the tattoo get past me?
I don't know. It didn't get past Molly, man. I don't know.
You guys heard that too? The tattoo?
We did, yes. He was so proud about it too. So I was like, sir.
She said she needed to get more reps in with someone that knows what they're doing. Well,
oh, that's why you were saying earlier that they kept making references.
Oh, they made several kitty cat references throughout the episode. They did. Even when they were in the backseat having that heart to heart, she was talking about the cat. She was like, what does that mean? What you say is mine? It's like on that. Oh my goodness, did I freeze? Y'all with me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, good. Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Man, Condola got me so messed up last week that I wasn't even thinking about that. You see what happens?
It's okay.
That was traumatic.
Mad at
last
her.
episode. Go ahead, A. What you say?
No, saying he's not the only one. I was pissed at Condola for acting.
Y'all wanna y'all wanna go back to both of y'all was absent last week, man. We could have chopped it up about that. That was a traumatic episode. This one
very traumatic.
Is very much so. But A, what do you think about Molly though, A?
I really do think that. I think that when you're on your grown woman's stuff, the walk that you got with you, that's different than the walk you have when you're trying to figure yourself out. I think she's getting that walk. It's different when you are growing up and you're hoping life happens to you. When you're on your grown woman walk, it's like, no, life doesn't happen to you. You participate in how life happens to you. And you can sit and actually watch. And I think that's what she's doing. She's sitting, she's watching. When she feels she wants to participate, she jumps in. It's like hopscotch. She jumps in, she participates, she hops back out, and she watches how life is moving and how it's working. When you're younger and you don't know, you're in such a rush that you're always doing, always trying to move it, always trying to move a dial, always trying to fix it, always trying to make sure you look perfect, make sure they want you. But she's getting on her own woman grind. And I think that there's a difference between hotation and liberation, right? Sexual liberation.
Oh, hold on, you got to write that down.
Preach,
Hold
preacher.
on.
That's all I gotta
Hold
say.
on. Hey, she rhyming. She rhyming. There's a difference between hotation and liberation. Break it down for us. Break it down.
Hotation is more,
it.
you just giving it. You just giving it to whoever and however. But when you are liberated, it means something to you. It's something that's of value. So who you give it to matters. You may give it to more than one if you choose to. You may not, but who you give it to matters. And so in that liberation, you're not just jumping from bed to bed willy-nilly. And that's maturity. So I feel like, yeah, she has matured. Now about the cat situation, even with what the other guy who was talking about he's going home to feed the cat, she said he's worried about the wrong cat. So
yes,
a lot of cat
yes, she did.
Saying
a lot, yeah. Yeah. They were definitely trying to say something with that. So what I'm getting is overwhelmingly people are people feel good about Molly and you know she's moving potentially in the right direction. Is that what I'm hearing from the tribe overall? Okay. All right, for sure. I guess I'll try to be less worried. She says, I just invest a lot emotionally in Molly. And I want to see my investments pay off by the end of this season. And what does that look like? You guys are right. Growth is subjective. But for me, it looks a particular way. For me, when it comes to Molly, I'm like, you know, hey. At any rate, okay, for sure. So there's other drama. There's other drama going on in this episode, and that is the social media drama between Crenshawn. Crenshawn is tweeting and saying stuff online about Issa and her organization, and I'm wondering, how do people think that this is the situation with Crenshawn will be resolved? What do people think about that? Little issue, big issue. Well, they worked it into the episode, so I'm assuming it's going to be a thing. How do people think that situation is going to be resolved?
I don't know, but I'm mad at Issa for sending him a DM. I was so pissed at her for that.
I want to use an offensive term. I thought that was a sucker move on his part. I thought, what did he post? He screenshotted it. I think he screenshotted the message and posted it.
But what else did she think was going to happen? He already, like, what else did she think was going to happen?
He's supposed to live by codes. I mean,
what's the code?
The G code.
What's the G code?
This dude been in.
Hey, Roger, I forgot. Can you say what happened? I forgot, man.
So what happened with Crenshawn is he was mad about the way that he was handled in his event 2 episodes ago. Okay. So he's upset about that. And so in this episode, he's Issa's got 10,000 followers now. She's doing a big thing. She's doing it on social media, and he's kind of under her page like, it's a scam. Don't fool with her, blah, 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 trying to make a mutiny, basically. And
she was texting in the backseat of the car.
Yes.
Getting there, yeah, okay.
Yes. And so, so I was saying they worked it into the episode. And I think, so she responded to him, not online, but she responded to him via text, like, bruh, like, be cool. And he posted it. I was disappointed in him.
You weren't disappointed in her?
No. I wasn't.
Issa, as a businesswoman, she first rule is like, don't read the comments. Like, people say that all the time, like, don't read the comments. Like, people are gonna have stuff to say, like, all the time. And I don't know what else she thought was gonna happen in 2021 or 2020, whenever this is said, sending something in writing. You see what I'm saying? And somebody's already attacking you online. I don't know what else she thought was going to happen. Like, other than click, screenshot, home button, press the thing on the side, and upload. I don't know what else she thought was going to happen.
Right. My thing with that is, like, she didn't even, like, apologize. She was like, she had, like, the worst kind of, like, fake non-acknowledgement of, like, she's like, well, thanks for the free publicity. You're welcome, blah, blah, blah. when the whole reason he's mad is the way she helped him, the way she went about it. And she's not, she wasn't saying, hey, my bad, blah, blah, how can we fix it? She was trying to act like, well, screw you for being mad then. So of course she got put on blast. So yes, he wasn't right for like posting it, but exactly. What else did she think was going to happen? Like putting it in right. No. Yeah. All bad. No.
Issa should have had a conversation with him. I totally agree, Tisha. Like she don't think she wrong. It's clear by the way she said it. And it's like, homegirl, he actually saved you, because had he actually done all these cuts and stuff, you probably wouldn't be put on. So you might want to thank him actually for sticking to his guns. You see what I'm saying? Like, and this is Issa, her poor communication. Like her and Crenshawn should have had a conversation after this event, right? We don't know how much time has passed, but clearly enough for more followers and for her to be on salary and all this stuff that her and Koya were talking about. She could have had a conversation and been like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, I know that was effed up. I hope we still can work together. This is where I was coming from. Boop, boop, boop. Clearly that didn't happen. And so he took to Instagram, Twitter streets, whatever. People like to thug online. I just really don't think, I really don't know what she thought was going to happen with texting. I really don't know what she thought was going to happen like with that.
Man, that's wild, man. I need a publicist, man. I would have done exactly what Issa did, and then probably would have gotten the same results. So
maybe that's telling of my age, but like, I don't get how this is. So this is, I guess, how people handle disputes now, like going to a different level of petty. I feel like it's very immature what he did, number one. It's very immature for him to even voice his grievances on social media. I think that they had a better relationship than how he voiced his opinion. I get it. Issa was wrong. Issa did not have his back. But the way that he took offense to Issa not having her back, the way he did Issa, he ain't no different. He has no more integrity than Issa did in that situation. So I don't give him no points for nothing that he's done. And I actually feel like they both were being petty, but at the end of the day, he shouldn't have posted that, because I think Issa may have had a little bit more maturity by trying to, even though it was kind of a dig, still not doing it publicly and doing it as like a DM instead of doing it publicly. So for me, I think it's a maturity thing for both of them.
I feel like Issa was butthurt because she wasn't that mature. She was mad. She was hot in the back of that car. That wasn't a mature response. She was reacting. She's like, how dare you put this on our page, right? The mature response could have been, one, not say nothing, let it ride. We'll discuss this later, right? Like that really, like, enjoy your beach day, girl, right? Like that's what she should have done. I think is enjoy her beach day.
She had Koya handling as well, though.
That's what she should have done. But it could have been, her DM could have been, hey, let's talk. Right? Like we haven't seen each other since, like, let's, because then he wouldn't have been able to post that, right? She gave him ammunition, and I 100% agree with you. Neither one of them are right in this situation. I don't think either one of them are right. Like, that's what I love about Insecure. Nobody's ever 100%. Like Insecure, I don't know any character except for like maybe Kelly, who I just be fully on their side. Like, yeah, right? But she was being reactive. She was in her feelings. And again, she has not acknowledged, even that he did it wrong. She's in the position she's in with her company and her job because of what he did. Like she's in that position because the event went so well.
Okay. There's more to it though, because she brought the people, right? Like she publicized the event. I mean, she did her part, and she brought the people in and merged them together. I understand. So when the thing went down, I understood how he could be somewhat hurt, but I don't. He's a G, right? I mean, he's a G. He started this thing in prison. I don't see how that is consistent with his character for him to be saying this stuff online, as opposed to if he would have just like ran up on her at the beach or something like that and like made her feel uncomfortable, right? And just verbally expressed himself or left an irate message, to me, that would have made more sense. But like, I guess it's a different era, but I was like, I don't know. I was like, bro, why? I don't know. It seemed lame to me. Go ahead.
I think they're definitely both wrong. Agreeing with everyone. But I didn't understand either. I was trying to figure out like, why is he going so hard? Like it was like, not only it would be one thing if he said one tweet and then kept it, like he was going all day. Like I remember they were at the beach. It was daytime. She was on her phone and he was like on. I was just like, are you not tired of trolling her yet? Did you not get the point across? But then I was trying to, like look at it. It was still hard to look at it objectively because it was still very petty and very immature. But I remember when Issa came backstage and she was telling him about like, what is all this? I thought we made these changes. I thought we talked about this. And I remember how angry and how passionate he got. And he said, you know what this means to me. You're trying to sell me out. Like, you know what this represents. And I think stepping into like this petty mindset, right? But his heart, this was his life. This was his life's work, his passion. And I think in that moment, instead of running up on her, like, right, what you said could have been the ulterior and just like talking about it and being mature. It's like the same way I feel like you tried to hurt me and hurt everything that I stand for, which is my life's work. I'm going to hit you where it hurts, which is not right, which is wrong because you're operating from a space of pain and not growth. But I think just kind of trying to understand, like, why is he going so hard? Maybe that's why. But those were just my own personal hypothesis, because this seemed like it wasn't just something to make money. It was like for the culture. This was his brand. This was his passion. And like you said, he's a street dude. So you come for mine, I'm gonna come for yours, type of thing. And the best way maybe he felt like about going about that is a very petty and childish way. So
I'm coming for yours. Watch this tweet. Watch how I get down. Oh boy. Okay.
But Nyanda, don't they still want to work together in the future and continue since it turned out well?
That's a good question.
I would think so. I wonder, Insecure has all these twists and turns that I wonder if there's going to be some reconciliation of some sort, because they're going to have to talk eventually.
It seems like he might be maybe burning bridges and can't do the show if he continues down this track.
It's weird because I feel like from an emotional standpoint, when I was looking at it, it almost seemed like he didn't even care about the bridge. He didn't care about whatever.
He's just getting started. This is the first one.
Right. He got nothing to lose, though.
Right.
Well, he got Issa to lose and a platform to display his art.
But if you don't feel like she got her back,
right?
Are you losing something?
Right.
Oh, well, I guess unless he can do other shows, he's got another way of doing other shows soon with someone else. I guess I wasn't thinking that he had another avenue right now.
Mm-hmm. I think like what I thought about when Roger was talking about like G code and all that jazz. The first thing that popped in my head was, do y'all remember a few years ago when Kanye West went on a rant on stage about Jay-Z? And he was like, you can't come to the house. The kids ain't played together. He said all the stuff on stage, and it's like, why are we talking? Why is the whole concert involved in this? Like, why does everybody need to know this about you? I just think some people, when they're hurt, they don't know how to communicate, and they do stuff more out to almost like poke at you, right? And it worked because he poked at Issa enough. He baited her. He did troll her. And that's why she wasn't supposed to respond. She wasn't supposed to feed the monster. You don't feed it. Like, you starve it. Like, that is how it stops. But
I think if nothing else, I just hope that this starts conversations about how we may have visions and we may have like all this passion, but like if you don't have a good business sense, you're going to burn yourself out, because from the get-go, his business sense has been a bit skewed. Like, I get that Issa didn't go hard for him, but at the end of the day, as a community, I will say this, and I will say this to my last breath, what we need to do is be in places where we are owners of that thing that we love, that thing we're pushing. And to be able to be owners, you have to I'm not saying even play the game. You just have to have a strong business sense. And his business sense is so skewed that he may end up burning himself. Forget the bridges. He's burning himself because when Issa walked in, Issa said, we're a team. Like, you talking about, I don't got your back. You don't got mine. You literally just set this whole thing up in flames. Thank God it went your way, but it really could have gone in flames because at the end, we still had an agreement. Whether you liked it or not, you were on board because you said, well, I guess I still want to do the show. That was an agreement. And if there were signatures on papers, I'm suing you because you went against the agreement we had. So in a business standpoint, if he really wants to be a businessman, I get street, I get all of that. He was off from the get-go. You don't go against an agreement we made. Now I'm looking at you like, can I really even do business with you? So I think that if nothing else, hopefully it opens our eyes that we need to talk about having better business sense and not all passion, because that's not going to carry you so far.
You know, I don't know. I mean, if anyone's ever like put on an event with artists or whatever, like the people in front of the curtain don't know everything that goes into creating this, right? So the people that are performing, or if you throw a party, the people that are partying, they don't know, nor do they care about the things that you had to do as far as getting a venue, as far as, you know, putting this money up, as far as buying security, as far as just kind of watching and making sure the right people don't mix with this people here, making sure that the beverages are set up, like all of that behind the house stuff oftentimes stays like behind the house. And I'm looking at the way this is playing out with these two, and I like, yeah, Crenshawn, I think they're both oblivious to one another. I think that they need one another, and they did have a successful event, and I'm glad Jason brought that up. And you would think that they would want to keep moving forward together. Yeah, and I think that Crenshawn is perhaps, yeah, he just wants to create and perform and doesn't know nor care about all the other things that happen in the chat. Najigo9 says, I feel like Crenshawn feels like he doesn't need Issa to get where he wants to go. Why else would he blast her on social media if he actually valued their relationship? Okay. So there you go. It's a lot of stuff going on there. Also, to backtrack a little bit, Michelle Marie said in the chat, disagree that sexual liberation is how Lawrence and Condola ended up in their situation. So there you go. And then hold up. And then Naja Girl 9 says, I don't want to see Molly get hurt again. She should reach out to Herbert. So shout out. Team Herbert is still going strong. Team Herbert is still in the building. We might see, I think it was Jessica that brought him up. He got a lot of screen time. They might bring Herbert back. Herbert. Oh my goodness. Okay, for sure. So look. Okay, people. Hey, check this out. I'm getting back to Nathan. Okay, so they talked about, well, he's ghosting, right? And it wasn't just with Issa, right? Like now we know his backstory. Like this was his episode, and this is his way of. He has a history of ghosting, right? And so my question for you all is, why do you all think that he goes? Yeah, we heard about the background. We saw it like in the overnight situation where Issa cried in his mouth. She revealed that she felt kind of ghosted. And why though? They talked about him being on tour. He was supposed to work with Paul Wall. If I'm not mistaken, I think I heard this right. But they're from Houston. He was supposed to work for all these rap musicians, and then he just like bailed, right? He's going to be a tour manager or something. And I think he just like bailed on the situation. So we know that he does this, but we don't know why. And I just wanted to put that out there. Why do people think that he does this?
I mean, I don't know if they explained really why. He said he was manic when he lived with the cousin. I mean, I can't speak to any personal experience with that, but it feels like with certain people, it's easier to kind of just disengage rather than have hard conversations. And it kind of seems like he has a pattern of like, I don't want to talk about it. And maybe like at the time, it sounds like, he hasn't told the cousin. So I don't know that he even really knew what kind of words to use or how to even explain or knew what was going on with himself. But it seems like he kind of prefers, or at least has a habit of kind of just cutting off and being like, nope, never mind, and just piecing out and dealing with it, as opposed to like having an uncomfortable conversation or like having some realizations about himself. And he still hasn't yet told his cousins or, his family, because it sounds like this is like a year or so later after the fact. So, and they're just now catching up with them, even though they live locally. So I don't know. It just seems like maybe that he likes to disengage, or that's kind of his pattern rather than having hard conversations.
He's probably dealing with some kind of trauma. I don't know. Did anyone? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. What's up, Neonda?
I don't know. It's it's interesting because watching it, it's hard not to watch it, kind of these scenes without like my mental health lens wanting to like click on. But I do want to preface by saying that, avoidant behavior is not a mental illness. However, your mental illness can exacerbate that, and that can make you become more avoidant, right? And so it's still his responsibility to be able to have effective communication and effective dialogue. However, if you're afraid for people to truly see you, like see you, then it's really difficult to have certain hard discussions, because then that would force you to have to tap into an aspect of yourself or to show of yourself in a certain type of way, where other people, you have to be okay with them accepting that or not accepting that. And maybe that could be difficult for him, because the fact that his family doesn't really know, they just say he's like a leaf in the wind. But he said to Issa that, oh, well, I was actually manic during that time. That could be a potential dialogue to share with his family, like what some of his struggles that he was going through, and how, and how like it wasn't him just running away from responsibilities. But I do want to like mention it's very tricky sometimes, because I think sometimes when we talk about mental health, or whenever we talk about mental health issues or illnesses, some people will say, well, I'm bipolar, or well, I'm that's why and I think that's still not a justification for certain things. If anything, you have to even be more strategic with certain dialogues. But I also understand you have to be comfortable with letting certain people into your life in certain type of way, because you also not everyone deserves the privilege to know that side of you. So maybe there's a reason why he didn't feel comfortable sharing his mental health with certain individuals in his life. But I do think it's an interesting like territory for him to be able to navigate, but a very important one if he wants to continue to sustain certain relationships in his life.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say I don't think he feels safe to like be able to be vulnerable and say what's going on, and so it's easier just to ghost or disappear than to like have that hard conversation if you don't know if it's going to be not necessarily taken well, but like handled with care. I think that's the way I would say it. Like, because I wonder if it's even the way they were like making fun of him at the table. Like, what if he had come to them and said, hey, my mind, this, and I don't know what it means to be bipolar, so I can't speak to that. But who knows if he was trying to maybe describe it what they might have done. You know what I mean? Like in that moment, and it might have made it worse. And so he was like, you know what? I can't talk to my family like this, or this isn't the right space for that. So I'm gonna just dip.
Neanda, you had insight. Are you in mental health?
Yeah, I'm a licensed mental health therapist.
Oh, okay.
Well,
And so you can kind of see a little bit of what Nathan is going through.
Yeah, but the intriguing part is because oftentimes, like individuals who go through with any type of mental health issues, right? Because I like to look at mental health like a spectrum, right? So we all have mental health issues, but it's just a matter of how much of it is negatively impacting your life, right? Compared to somebody else. And so I think oftentimes when I have clients and I'm speaking with clients, they feel safe and they feel heard. So I'm able to kind of have these discussions from a space where that safe space has been fostered. Whereas they're telling me like for example, let's say Nathan is my client. He's telling me how he wants to tell the family, but he doesn't know how. Right. Or, we're having these dialogues and kind of coming up with skills and conversations as to how would you go about doing that, right? And I think a lot of people don't realize when you have a diagnosis, you don't want that to become your identity, because people who don't have that now start to treat you a certain type of way without even consciously realizing they're doing that. Mm-hmm. So they might talk to you a certain type of way, like, oh, is this okay? And it's like, no, I still want you to talk to me normally, even though I have this issue. Like, I am not my diagnosis, right? That's not my identity. However, I think it's so layered, and there's so many reasons beyond why people don't feel comfortable just disclosing, like, hey, this is what I go through, because it could potentially change the dynamic of a relationship forever.
In Nathan's case, I hate to make you feel like you're at work right now, but in Nathan's case, he has no relationship with his cousin. He hasn't talked to them in a long time. And so do you think that it would be beneficial for him to let them know in this situation?
Like if Nathan were to ask me that, I would say, what would be the goal of that by sharing that, right? Because I think oftentimes whenever we ask certain questions, or we want to disclose certain information within a relationship, any type of relationship, right? It's like I hope there's these unspoken expectations that we hope that the other person may respond in a certain type of way. And my feedback would mostly be surrounded around, how do we take care of you regardless of how people react to whatever you share? Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, you can't control how your family is going to react. You can't control any of that, right? So if you want to share this because you hope it brings them closer, okay, that's cool, because it could, right? But so what happens if it doesn't? How do you cope? How do you feel, right? And how do you still navigate through the world feeling comfortable sharing an aspect of yourself without feeling, what if everybody reacts the way they did? Mm-hmm. Right? So I think it would just be more centered around, what are your hopes? What are your goals in sharing this? And regardless of the outcome, how do we make sure that you still feel confident and you still feel self-assured in who you are, regardless of how people react to you?
Okay, absolutely. I appreciate that blessing. Nathan, the men, they've done a good job the past few episodes talking about men not being able to verbalize emotion. Nathan wanted to say, going back to the Nathan quote, he wanted to show them, look, I've got my life together. But he didn't explicitly say that to them or say that to here. I wanted to show you that I got my life together. But he was like, look at the beach and it's lit. Oh, come through. What? Drinks on me. Look, we getting it. but he really wanted to express something really private and personal. Like, I know what I was and I know what I put you all through, but look now, right? But he didn't put that into words. And I said I didn't really want to go back to the last episode, but however, there was a crib involved, and Lawrence put his love and him wanting to express his appreciation for his child and to be a good father, not to verbalize that to the woman that he had had the baby with or have discussions with her, but he was like, look at this bomb ass crib in this baby room I put together, right? So he did it through his hands and through work. Look what I've done. Just look, let me show you, instead of putting that into words, because that is there's a lot of labor that goes into putting something into words, particularly for men. And I think they've just done a great job these past few episodes, like displaying that. So, yeah. Anyone else on Nate and why he may be expressing avoidant, or not expressing, but why he may be engaging in avoidant behavior, quote unquote, ghosting? Anyone else on that? They don't say it, of course, but I'm just wondering if anyone has a hot take on it.
I do. I wanted to add something. I think mental illness is a little trickier just because the thing that you're going to use to do the explaining is what is ill. And so when you look at it that way, that your mind is what you're going to use to do your explaining, and that's what's ill. Sometimes because that thing is ill, it's hard for you to even process what it is you're going through to be able to vocalize it. Mm-hmm. And Yanda was saying that practicing with your therapist or standing in the mirror sometimes and even anticipating what the response is going to be, and then knowing a reply you're going to give. And like, even you just understanding it yourself, sometimes it takes years for you to even figure out, what am I going through? What is happening to this brain of mine? Why is my brain telling me and making me feel these things that society is telling me is not normal? And so that process in itself is a journey. For him to be okay with that and understand it enough to vocalize it to someone else, like that in itself can be so overwhelming. So he's just trying to figure it out. And life doesn't stop as you're figuring it out. Life is still happening. He still has to pay. He still has to work. So it's a large expectation for us to kind of feel that he'd be able to vocalize it to his family, that this is what he's going through. But yeah, that's all I wanted to add with mental illness.
Yeah, large expectation. Okay, for sure. But we all do agree he's going to have to express these things to Issa. And I think he feels safer with Issa. He's already started, but I guess the relationship is going to depend on, can he consistently express verbally the things that are going on with him. And I get a sense that he probably hasn't done that with his relationships in the past. And whatever this thing is with Issa that happens, because last time he was gone for like a month or something, right? Like he's departed, engaged in avoidant behavior, as Nayanda says, with Issa before. And, he left the bedroom that night as well. And I'm like, okay.
He didn't have no choice.
Okay. Debatable. But we know what he did. And I'm just saying, though, Issa didn't like that. That's not debatable that she didn't like that. Okay. And so now if this is going to be his boo or more than friends, whatever kind of thing they're doing, he's gonna have to be a man he's never been before. That's gonna be crazy tough. What's up, Jason?
Issa didn't like that. But when they were standing on top of the hill, she had a chance to say that if she felt that way. She didn't feel like that.
Oh, okay.
She understood. And she was asking her girls, I wonder how my tears taste. They taste salty, I know.
True. So you're saying it wasn't, maybe they're both engaging in avoidant behavior. Because I thought she said, what is she, man, you got quotes. I don't have textual support. But I thought that she said something that she was just like, I woke up and he was gone. I think she said something like that. Did she not? She said something like that.
She said that, but she was not mortally wounded.
So she not dead. She be all right. That's what's going on, Jason.
She's ready to go on to next week.
She's ready for another episode. All right.
Yeah.
What's up, A? What you say?
No, I said Jason's wrong for that. Like, she's not.
All right. I think maybe, I guess they're both going to have to be a person of a version of themselves that they've never been. So we'll see where that goes. Okay, last thing on the table. I know you guys got things to do. Friday night. Appreciate you being here with me. Hey, so in the not the spoiler, but the trailer, in the trailer for the next episode, somebody's in a daggone hospital. And I'm wondering, what do people think? Who's in the hospital? What's going down? Issa and Nathan are in the bed, but like, what's the dramatic thing that happens next episode? Who wants to guess what's going to go down next episode?
Yeah, I think unfortunately it's going to be Molly's mom. It kind of was set up in the beginning when she was talking about get your things in order. And I kind of thought, okay, that's going to lead to either somebody having complications or maybe death. I hope not. But
okay,
my prediction is it's a parent. She's going to lose a parent or something serious to that parent.
Ooh. Dang.
I second that.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
I think it's mom.
What made you, what? Okay, Jessica too. Why, what, damn, like that's like opening up like capillaries and shit. My frontal lobe is expanding. Why do people think, what made people say that? The mother.
They
Like,
said it, I think.
Yeah, like they said in the preview, they said she
Yep.
hospital. But yeah.
But there's a lot of women on the show. Why do you think it's moms though?
But not women that she would stop everything for and miss work for and be at the hospital and everybody's around.
Right. And then the brothers were there and dad was there, but the mom wasn't in the hospital.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Well, I guess that was a dumb question.
But the emphasis on them to make a living will too, or whatever it was that the actual word was, that emphasis on it connects it all the way back, because she was very hard on them doing that just in case something happens.
Mhm. And I think like the extended kind of like the phone conversation with Molly and her mom made me think like, oh, something's gonna happen, just because, you know, like they get along and everything, they have a good relationship, but it's never like making it a point to have like these side conversations, mom joking, talking about Herbert and thirsting after him. Like, yeah, I think it's something's gonna happen to Mama.
Oh.
That Herbert gets back in the running.
So
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh no.
Herbert is the shoulder that she can lean on.
is Herbert the church dude that like oh my god. Okay.
Christian music, yes.
So Nayanda, this chat is very pro Herbert. You missed it, but you can't disrespect Herbert on this call.
Oh, I meant like praise the Lord. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm just saying it's a lot of everyone here is Team Herbert. I said something remotely negative about Herbert and I got jumped on. I'm just saying they're rooting for Herbert. So okay, hey, you know what kind of threw me off though is like the barbershop people were there in the hospital. I was like, why are they there? I don't know. Not just Nathan, but like the other barbers or the homies, Nathan's homies. Yeah, they're all barbers. Yeah, they were like there. I was like, what they got to do with this? I don't know. So that part threw me off. But okay, anything else? People think it's the mama. Okay, I guess it's pretty. Okay, all right. Well, you heard it here first. All right, for sure. I wanna check. I wanna go to the chat one last time, and yeah, Jamie says the dad and brother was in the lobby. It was Molly's mom, and Jamie also says really appreciate that insight, Ajwa. So there you go. All right, people in the chat, go ahead. If you haven't liked this already, like this and subscribe to the tribe. Okay, announcements. Hey, next week, Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, can't do it. No chat next Friday. No chat next Friday. So we'll come back with a double chat, and we're gonna have to put some things together 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. So no chat next Friday. I might do a little solo thing, but like no chat next Friday. Can't do that. And yeah, also people, everybody listen, go ahead. If you want to be down with the mailing list and you get everything exclusive, go ahead and mail awkwardblacktribe@gmail.com. Go ahead and do that. And then I can put you on that list. So you get the super exclusive because I got a lot of things coming, especially if you're in the Bay Area, in-person stuff and online stuff. And then also, hey, Sunday at 4 o'clock PST, 7 o'clock East Coast time, we are doing a chat on, do you still think that Kanye is crazy? Do you still think Kanye is crazy? There's homework for that because you have to watch the Drink Champs interview, which some people are saying was the interview of the year. It's broken down into 2 segments. Go ahead and watch that and be a part of the chat on Sunday, okay? And we want all our mental health people to come through, even if you don't like Kanye. We want you to come through and talk about that. Okay, all right, for certain. I appreciate all of you for staying on the call. Nyanda, shout out to you. Shout out to Jason DeWitt, Mr. HBCU himself. And shout out to Adwa and Trisha and the caller named Jessica, no last name. And so definitely appreciate everyone. And listen, y'all know what it is. And listen, bye, adios, peace, tribe.
Good night.
And another one. That's right. Peace.